Today I'm going to be showing you how to install figures in your Lionel 21-inch passenger cars. Alright, so here are the figures we're going to be using today. We have the Lionel Figures and the Golden Gate Depot Little People. And also some figures on the right hand side here from China. They're cheaply found on eBay. And here's the Golden Gate Depot People. And they're 1930s to 50s style steam era figures. And you can see it comes in a pack of 36 and it's very nicely detailed. And then you have the Lionel 21-inch scale figures pack. There's your item number. And this comes in a pack of 24. And they are also very nicely detailed. Slightly more modern looking, but I feel that they are very nicely detailed and a good variety of colors. You can see on the back here some more additional info. Use these to fill up your passenger car, as they say. Too bad they don't come in the cars already. And then you can also use these figures, like I said, they are O scale. You can find them on eBay, and a couple different looks, you know, some male and female figures, and they're not bad. They work okay. Some of the male figures are a little large. You'll see here in the review of this video. So we're going to be using this Norfolk Southern 21-inch passenger car as our example. So let's get started. So the tools you'll need are very simple. You'll need a standard Phillips head screwdriver and some super glue. I'm using the Loctite gel super glue. It's good for control of how much you use. You also need to have something to hold your passenger car, such as this foam cradle. And right here on the bottom of the car, you'll see there are these larger screws. They're the only ones you need to remove. There's 4 of them. On observation cars, there is 3. Do not remove any of the other screws, just the large screws. You can see here, this is the example of how the kinematic couplers work. Pretty cool. Helps the train navigate around tight curves. Here's your switch for your lighting. And the bottom is very nicely detailed. So we'll get started on removing the screws and opening up this car. So with all 4 screws now removed, we can take the shell off of the car and reveal our interior with the seats. Be careful, on the right hand side there is wiring for your LED lighting, and you don't want to stretch that or kink the wire or pinch the wire when you reassemble this car. As you can see, here's your LED lighting up inside of the car. And we'll start test fitting some figures. We'll start with the Golden Gate Depot figures. And I'll get a little bit of a closer view so you can see how they look. Alright, so you can see they do look pretty good, but I've discovered that the angle of their backs and their butts is not lining up correctly with the chairs. You can see their legs are just a little bit long. And that's going to be problematic, so I did find a solution to that. But first, let's take a look at the Lionel figures. Here's one of the Lionel figures. They're just a tad smaller, and you can see they're actually kind of like rubbery, which is pretty cool. And we'll take a look and see how they fit in the car. And he sits in there just fine. So we'll take a look closer, and you can see the Lionel figures do fit more appropriately than the Golden Gate Depot figures, and in my personal opinion, I think the Lionel figures are better detailed. Then that's not to say anything that's wrong with the Golden Gate Depot figures, but you know, you do get a better bang for your buck with the Golden Gate Depot figures. And then we'll try fitting in some of the China figures. Now, these also were problematic. It seemed like only the females fit okay here, as you can see. But then we tried some of the larger male figures, and they are way off. And actually, I did a Rail King set of cars with figures. I ended up buying S scale figures, and these are O scale, so if you do ever buy the China figures, order S scale. Alright, so we're going to start gluing in some of these figures. And the best thing to do is just put a nice drop of glue on the butt. And I was also putting glue on like the upper portion of their backs so that it touches the back of the chair and it gets a better adhesion that way. Also, I did bend the legs of the figures, as you'll see here in this next shot. These figures, the Golden Gate Depot ones, they're a hard plastic, but they do bend a little bit. So if you give it a little bit of might, you can bend the legs forward and they fit better. So as you can see here, I've got in all of my figures, and I've decided to go with all of the Golden Gate Depot figures. And since I had 3 packs of those, they'll cover the set that I was doing. And I'm saving the Lionel figures for the dome cars, which I'll show you later in this video. And I was pointing here at one of the bathrooms in the passenger car, and we'll go ahead and drop one of the figures in there now. There we go. Alright, so now that we have all our figures in, we can go ahead and put the shell back on the car. And like I was saying before, earlier in the video, be careful not to pinch the wires for your LED lighting. Just take your time and make sure everything sits properly. Be careful of the fine details on the bottom of the car also. And once you have it all lined up, you can go ahead and put your 4 Phillips head screws back in. Alright, so now that we did the regular passenger car, we'll go ahead and do one of the dome cars. And as you can see, you just pull straight up on the lid of the dome and it pops right up. And then you can start putting in your figures. So I did choose to save the Lionel figures for the dome car. I felt that they fit the seats better and that they looked really good after you added in, you know, say 8 or so. And now that our figures are glued in, we can return the lid back to the dome car the same way it was removed. And we're ready to get this thing on the layout. Let's check it out. Here's a little before video showing you the empty passenger car. And then how it looks with your passengers installed. Again, those are the Golden Gate Depot figures. And then we'll take a look at our dome car. Here's our Lionel figures I saved for the dome car since I just had that 1 pack. And they look great.